Pink and I, we've been, extensively talking about the Deshaun Watson situation. And, you guys can go to On the Bench Podcast YouTube and catch the clip is actually doing very well on YouTube. But outside of that, we talked about Deshaun Watson and, all of the allegations that he's going through and whether he's going to be suspended or not, blah, blah, blah. But on the other end of that, you have Baker Mayfield, who has been the starter for Cleveland Browns, maligned, number one overall draft pick. Some would say he's underachieved and things like that, but, he's been solid to say the least, right? He's had the playoff victory.
I mean, he was the top draft pick on a team that hadn't won a game in nearly 2 seasons.
It's the Cleveland Browns.
A couple years later, he had him in the playoffs and playing pretty competitively against the Chiefs team.
Yeah. I mean, he's not Patrick Mahomes, but how many of there are there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many out there are there? So they go out in this offseason, and not only do they sign another or trade for a quarterback, they trade for a guy who has all of this baggage, and to come in and to start over Baker Mayfield while promising him on the back end, hey, yeah, we are going to find you another team. We just need to make sure we get the value that we want from you from this trade. Well, they never traded Baker because they wanted a first round pick and no one would give that to the Cleveland Browns. So now after 20 more well, not 20 more, to be more realistic, like 6 more allegations have popped up since Deshaun has come over to the Browns, and it's likely that he receives a year-long suspension. That is what's likely, right? This whole year he's going to sit out again from suspension. So now you have Baker Mayfield, and he's in a power position now, because if I'm Baker, I'm not playing for you guys. You promised me you were going to get rid of me. Get rid of me and just have a shitty year. You know what I'm saying? I don't figure it out, but don't look at me now like, hey, Baker, how you doing? And glad to have you. No. Have the same energy that you guys had a month ago when you went outside the guy that potentially fondled or showed his penis to 30 women. You know what I mean? What do you say?
No, yeah, I mean, here's the problem. I mean, they really screwed Baker in a lot of ways. I mean, the draft is passed. At this point, we're about a month away from training camp. Most teams, I mean, I'd say virtually every team has a plan at quarterback right now. And they're not in the market to make a move for a starting quarterback.
Right.
And so any move that would likely come about at this point would be a response to an offseason injury of significance, or you're trading to be in a backup / mentoring role to a younger prospect. And that's just not where Baker Mayfield needs to be in his career right now.
Right.
So he's really been put in a horrible position. The sad reality is his best way out of the position is to perform on the field. And if Deshaun gets suspended, it gives him an opportunity to play and to have a good season. And, to me, as much as you want to be petty, you get a chance to be a starter on a football team. And the Cleveland Browns are not terrible. They have some talent. They have some dudes on defense. If he plays pretty well, they can be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And his leverage goes up. But if he gets a trade in the next couple of weeks on the eve of camp and, kind of goes in as somebody's backup, or maybe we'll see what happens in camp, that's not a good situation. You're in the NFL, it's very hard to ever get back to a respected starting position when you've been a high draft pick and lost that.
Yeah.
There's a perception around you. I think Jameis is trying to do it with New Orleans. But even still, I think he's going to be the starter coming off of injury, but it's not clear cut. There's scenarios where he could get beat out or whatever. Marcus Mariota's in NFL hell and has been for a couple years. Carson Wentz is heading there. It's really bad. But, and I hate to say it, but if I'm him and I haven't been moved already, suspend the living hell out of Deshaun and let me roll.
And you want to roll with the Browns?
I just want to roll anywhere where they let me play. No, because again, what's the benefit of going to another team and maybe not playing? That doesn't help you.
No. If teams wanted to bring him in just at a particular price, like for example, the number one team, basically the only team that's been in the Baker running, is the Carolina Panthers.
Right, but my point is...
And he can play there. He can start there.
I get that he could, but the point that a deal has not been made We're post-draft.
Yeah.
We're in a weird place. They're planning to move ahead with other guys right now.
Yes, the other teams. Yes,
Yeah,
1000%.
and that's the problem you're in.
Yeah, it is.
So being traded now is not a good thing. It would have been if he was traded, before or shortly after the draft. That would have been ideal, and I think the Browns did him a disservice by not doing that.
What do you think, Darnell? Or would you be petty and sit out to hurt the team, or maybe like in Pink's point, it's probably better for your career if you just go ahead, bite the bullet, and play for the Browns if they need you?
Logically, biting the bullet and playing is the most logical solution to help your career and potentially get more earnings if you have a good season. But dealing in that professional market, of course, sometimes you want to be petty and just go to hell. You know what I'm saying to you? And let them suffer. But I think logically, it's smart if he just plays right now and sees if he could get himself, back on the market for real.
Yeah, maybe that's the play, man.
You just want to be petty. That's your thing.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. That's a hard pill to swallow for me, man.
Oh, sure.
He's been a starting quarterback. I would probably even be willing to sit out a year. I would go that far.
No, I would go that far. I would just be in fuck you mode all year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything the club wants you, but I play my ass off.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about anything except on Sunday. You got some sick kids. Fuck 'em.
That's literally what I was thinking in my head. What if the team wants you to come talk to the?
You should have traded me for Russell Wilson. that motherfucker spends more time in hospitals than Deshaun does at massage parlors. So no, don't. I'm here to ball. That's it. We're not friends. We ain't nothing. You cut a check and I play ball.
Oh man.
Now you could be petty in that way, but you still get your showcase.
Yeah, you need to play.
Yeah, you need to play. So you need to play.